Welcome to my video. Today is episode 2 in the series of the VonD eyeshadow palette. Today is the Cool Look. To start, I'm going to be using the Smashbox Under Eye Primer. I always use this, mostly because I'm doing Project Pan. I'm trying to get rid of all of the makeup that I currently have, but I also do think that it makes my under eyes a little bit more hydrated so that if there is any dry skin, my foundation isn't going to stick to it. I am testing out the Milk Blur foundation. She gave me 2 different colors, ivory and I believe fair, but she did not tell me which one was which, so I don't know what color this is. But here I'm just dotting it all over my face. You can see that I had a Sephora sample of it. Just because it is quite expensive, I wanted to make sure that I liked it before I bought it. As you can tell, as I'm quickly buffing it out, I will beauty blend it after, but you can tell that it already does have a sort of blurring effect. This color does match me quite well. I wish that she did tell me what color was what so that I knew which one to buy, but you can see that it is quite medium to full coverage and it does have a blurring effect to it. For concealer, I am using my Sephora brand in the color 22 Natural, I believe it's called. This is a little bit lighter than my skin, but I do use this as a concealer as well as a highlighter underneath my eyes. Sometimes I put it down my nose and in my T-zone, but mostly just underneath my eyes for the bags. I do rub that in and I do put it on my eyelids just as a sort of pre-primer base because I do put an eyeshadow primer on as well. And then here I'm going through with my beauty blender just to blend out my foundation as well as my concealer together. For setting powder, I am using the NYC Smooth Skin. This is just something really cheap from Walmart, but I really love how it works. I use this to set underneath my eyes just to make sure that nothing creases. I also use this to set in between my eyebrows and up in my forehead area. I do find that I get quite oily in that area specifically. I also go along my laugh lines just because I do notice as I talk and smile throughout the day that my makeup tends to crease there. And then I definitely go along my jawline because that is the first place that my makeup seems to disappear from throughout the day. For eyebrows, I'm using the Benefit Ka-Brow in the color 02. This is a brow pomade. It's quite overpriced in my opinion for how good it is. I have had cheaper ones that work just as well, but I do like it, so I will finish off this product. I think that the color matches me quite well. I've done my brows many times on camera, so I do just quickly skip through them. Once I am done with the brow pomade, I do clean up underneath my eyebrows with a Q-tip really quickly, and then I go in with this Rimmel pencil and I just sharpen up the edges and anywhere that I missed with the brow pomade. I do use eyeshadow primer and I'm using this Too Faced Eyeshadow Insurance. I use this because I got it as a sample. It's actually quite a large sample. I do like how it feels on the eyes, but do I think that it makes a difference? I'm not sure. For eyeshadow, I am using the VonD Shade and Light Eye Palette, of course, and I am going to be using the Cool Tone Quadrant today. Episode 1 was the Warm Tone Quadrant, and the last episode is going to be the Neutral Quadrant, which I have never used before. I am just going in with this lightest shade, just all over the eyelid. This is sort of putting down that primer, making it less tacky. After I do that, I go in with the second lightest shade again. I'm just doing the exact same thing. I just like the color of this one better, and also I didn't have anywhere to use this one. I didn't think at the time, so I just decided to put it down as my base again. Next, I'm going in with this lighter brown shade and I'm going to put this in my transition area, my crease area, and I'm going to focus this mostly on the outer edge of my eye. Every time that I've used this palette before, I've tried my hardest to use all the colors, but I tend to go towards the warm palette, which was episode 1. So this was the first time that I think I'd used this light brown shade, and as you can see here, the payoff isn't that great, which I was super surprised about because I love all the other shades that I usually use. But it did take quite a while to get this to build up, and it did look a little bit patchy in areas. I did have to blend it out quite a bit, which again, I was super surprised about. Although this does have quite a difficult time blending out and building up, I really do love this color. Once you do get it built up and spend a lot of time buffing it out, it is very pretty. It kind of has a gray undertone to it, which is why it's so cool. But I think that this really makes my eyes look super nice. Last color I'm going to use is this darker brown color. I'm going to focus this on my outer corner and just underneath my crease line there, just to add some dimension to my eyes. This one goes on a lot easier than the second one, and it blends out quite a bit nicer, just like the other shades in the palette that I found. What I really love about these shadows is how pigmented most of them are, but they don't have a lot of fallout, even though in the pan there is quite a bit of fallout. I did notice that. I'm just going in with the lighter brown and then the darker brown again underneath my waterline. I just think that doing this ties the whole look together. Last, I'm going to go in with this lighter shade again, and I'm just going to put that at the front end of my eyelid and then blend it back, and then I'm going to go back in with my darker eyeshadow brush and just blend that all together. For bronzer, I'm going to go in with this Savannah's Color bronzer. I put this all over my face. I use this every day because I am doing Project Pan, but I really just want this bronzer to be going. It is so patchy going on. You really can tell by the end of the day. It falls off really patchy. It's just not really a good bronzer, so I am in the market for a better one if you have any suggestions. For contour, I'm using the Kat Von D contour palette, and I'm using this middle shade. I'm obsessed with this contour palette. I think that these blend out so nice, and they look quite natural, I think, as far as a contour goes. I just go back in with my big fluffy brush again, and I blend together my contour and my bronzer just to make it more seamless. I'm using the contour kit again, and I'm just going underneath my eyes to sort of give a brightening effect and to take away any shadows that may have fallen and gotten stuck in my foundation. For blush, I am using this MAC blush. Don't like MAC because they're not cruelty free, but because of Project Pan, I'm trying to use up all of the makeup that I do have. But I do think that this is a really pretty color. I am using the NYX illuminating drops, and I just like putting this on my cupid's bow and the tip of my nose and then just dragging it up. I use a beauty blender to blend this out, and then I'm going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy highlighting palette. I thought that this palette would be a lot more impressive than it is with all the hype that there was. I wish I tried it out before buying it. I think that it is very subtle. I mean, I guess it's a natural sort of glow that you can build up. It takes a really long time to build up. It just wasn't what I expected from her project pictures, I guess. My absolute favorite eyeliner pencil to go in my waterline is this NYX Jumbo pencil. These are only like $6. This is in the color Milk, and this goes on so easy, and I think that it stays all day. This just really brightens up my eyes. I am using the Essence False Lash Mascara. This is a newer mascara that I literally just bought. My Ride or Die mascara is Essence I Love Extreme. It has a wider wand that I really like. This one does a good job at lengthening, but it's just not my favorite mascara. To finish off for lips, I am using the NYX in, I believe it's 06. This is just a really nice sort of pinky color. I think it looks really nice with the eyes. And I really like these lips because they stay on all day. You can eat, you can drink, and they stay on. Here is the finished product. I am obsessed with how this came out. I love the eyes. I think it's super subtle. It makes my blue eyes pop. So thanks for watching.